Hey, Locksters, this is Miss Janice. How y'all doing? Hi, Locksters. Hi, 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 hi. I'm so happy. I'm just getting on. I've been trying to get on probably since like 7 or a little before, a little after. It is, I don't know what time it is, but I know it's 8:51. I do not know what happened. But I didn't give up. I did not give up. And before we get started, talking about the natural hair care practitioner license, module. Today, remember, we're supposed to be doing definitions, low level disinfectant, and high level disinfectant, and where we are today. And I was telling you that these are things that you're going to have to remember. Even if they're not on the test, you still going to have to remember. I was explaining how when I was the safety supervisor or safety representative is what I was titled. I had to actually find the book, know where the book was. MSDS, I believe. Mhm. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was a yellow book. It was big, and it had every single type of chemical in that book that we use at the facility. And so a lot of the stuff not only applies to working at a place, being your own personal, well, it's really called an entrepreneur, but they don't call it that. They call it a license. Hmm. Anyway, as I keep going, I'm going to remember a lot of stuff. So that's why I keep doing this. And we're learning it together. But I wanted to, these here are uh, PSP plug-in earphones with the little mouthpiece. So I'm hoping you can hear me because on today I'm not seeing the little light. Okay, it just turned green. It does a little blink on, blink off. But I wanted to show you another way to wear your lock sock. And I usually have my ears covered, but I have the ear things in. So you're going to have to get to see it this way. And this right here, remember I was telling you how you have to have, uh, I mean, you don't have to have a lot of hair, but if you have a lot of hair, they fit in, they stretch. So I can't even show you that either. Because my ear thing is going to come off. So, and this right here is when I was seeing a person do lock socks, it wasn't on the package itself. I saw a YouTube person do a lock sock, and what she was saying is that if you have a lot of hair, you can stuff the hair in there, and I was showing her how to do that. But me personally, when I don't have a lot of hair, I figure out other ways to get around. And today, what I did was I put a literal sock, a set of black socks in the lock sock itself, and just did the hairstyle. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to, wait, oh, see, there's no ponytail back there, so you know it was a sock. I'm going to take these off. Here's my band. And remember, you're trying to show people your product. You're trying to wear your product. You're becoming the brand itself. So you already seen how practically every single day I come on. Practically every single day I come on, I wear a lock sock. I like to have my hair covered during the day. I take the lock sock itself. This is just plain lock sock. They're open on both ends. Oh, I hope you can hear me. They're open on both ends. So I usually take a rubber band because I want it to be easy to come off. Or I usually take a thin one of these, and you can get like 100 for 1.99 at the dollar store. I turn it right side out. I always explain how this right here this is stretchy, very stretchy. You can have a lot of hair, and normally you don't close it. You put your hair through the top part. If you have long hair, you just stick your hand through and pull your hair up in the ponytail. You stick your hand through the top part and just pull your hair up through the hole. You're just pulling it up, and this is basically what you're doing. Let's give a hand for the lighting. We figured out the lighting on yesterday. All your hair is in it. You move this forward like this with all your hair in it. It's still open. Take the top part and make a circle. And pull this part down the hair and you stick it in here. Okay? You stick it in the hole that you made. But if you do not have a lot of hair like me, and you're very inventive, creative, etc., you take a sock. Well, I'm telling you a sock. You can take material or whatever. And you sort of make it like a ball, ponytail, fluff, smash it, and just drop it in the bottom. Then you put it back on your head, and it becomes your hair. I don't know how that looks. Let me see. Then you do the crisscross, and after you do the crisscross, and you try to get it to look like a ball. And I'm talking loud, but I think you can hear it in the mic. If not, I am so sorry. You take your band. You don't have to take this band. I'm just used to doing it. And what you do is if it's too tight, you pull it out. And it makes the ponytail tighter, but it makes around your head looser. Okay? So what I like to do, because I like to make it feel like it's my hair, I put a ponytail holder on it. And then you start, putting your earrings on, fixing the front around your eyes. I like mine over my ears like this. And you just begin your day. Put your makeup on, your eyeshadow, your whatever. I think the only makeup I wear is eyeliner right here, right here. That's it. Maybe Vaseline on my, not Vaseline, but what's the name of that oil? Castor oil on my lips. And that's how I looked today. And I like the style. And remember, I told you how sometimes, let me make sure that my hair is in here. Sometimes my hair gets stuck in here. And sometimes I just turn it around. But the majority of the time, of course, the sock is not this big. I like the sock being big, but the majority of the time it's not this big. You can use one sock. You can use another lock sock. It's just It's up to you. And that's the way I like it. And there's still room in these. You can still pull it. See how it's getting tighter? But look how much more room you get. Okay? So that's how to make a ponytail holder out of a lock sock. You twist it in the back, of course. You twist it and you put your hair, you just put your hair in that hole. But if you're like me and a few others, you just put something in it to make that bun. Okay, let me turn it back around. Let me take it off. I'm starting with it off today. And see, there's even more. See. So it fits. I think the lady put about 8 to 10 extra ones of these to make her bun. That's where it's at. Okay, let's get started with the hair. And today, when I did my spritzing of my um, castor oil, the I'm so sorry that I can't think of the names. Like one of these days, I'm gonna cheat and go castor oil, conditioner. I just because you put a little bit of everything in it and then you mix it with water, and I do it to keep my hair moist, not too greasy, not too. And to me, it reminds me of people who have like real soft hair, fine hair, not fine, but hair that they say is hard to lock. If you leave your hair alone, it'll lock. I just it just takes longer when you bother it. And I showed you all that last year when I started my locking process. And I told everybody that my locking process is going to take longer because I have to let the hair grow in first. I mean, my locking process is going to take a while. Did you see what I just did? I pulled it up and some hairs came with it. I didn't notice anything new today. I just was kind of like happy to get my routine, that I'm still using the same routine. Um, 2018, I added uh, coconut oil. Coconut oil. I had to point to it to tell what the name of it is. And I like that my locks are getting thicker. And the name of the shampoo and conditioner that I'm using is Biotin Thickening Shampoo. Biotin with collagen thickening conditioner. Shampoo and conditioner. I went to the store, got the wrong one. I got back home. It was biotin, but it didn't have the word thickening on it. So that's another thing that I started using this year. What else? And when I sleep, I don't put anything on my hair. I just use the it's not satin, but I don't know what the name. I don't know what the name of the material is that's on that pillow. Because I don't cover my hair and I make sure that it's nice and free at night. And I like when I wake up. I'm not pulling these hard. I'm just doing like to make sure there's no scraggly hairs coming around. I did upload several videos today. And I did see that one person watched the videos. I haven't had a chance to watch the videos. And it also, several videos did not upload. And I'm on my computer instead of my phone. I like that because then I can do stuff with my hands. Uh, so how y'all doing today? I trust that all is well with you guys, with every lobster out there, every single last one of you. Thank you for finding me. Thank you. I'm thanking you in advance for following. Thank you in advance for the questions. There's something new. It says new live chat replay. Now viewers who replay your live streams later will see the chat as it happened. You can turn this off in your video settings. Learn more. Then it says changes you made may not be saved. We're going to cancel that. I didn't know it was going to go off the page. I thought a box would open up or something like that. And I pushed got it. Hold on. I'm going to write my information on here. That's one reason why I like this chat on my computer, which started working last night, which is like all to the sum. Because it used to work, and then all of a sudden it didn't for a while. And I just, right before I was thinking of going and get the camera stand from next door, I was like, let me see if this works. And this is the Lobsters Embassy at gmail.com. So this is on Facebook, and it's called Lobsters Embassy, I believe. It could still be called mzjanis. I don't know. I don't remember. I just know I had to give it a name, and it wouldn't let me change the name. So maybe if I wrote over the picture, to tell me. No, it's just looking cute. My little picture. But look at the difference from yesterday and today. All I'm doing now till my next wash is totally every morning. Basically, I still totally rinse my hair and let it get out the stuff that I put in the night before. So it's actually a daily style. This is a daily style, and I could have wore it with no scarf or anything today, but I like that one. I like this sock over here because it has pink and black and blue, and my colors today were pink and black. Oh, and I'm a vest wearer. I love wearing vests. I love wearing. Oh Lord. I appreciate wearing vests, and I appreciate wearing jackets, like suit jackets, to make you look like, hey, you got it going on, Miss Janice. Go ahead now. Anyway, I think I did every single last one of them, so that process is getting faster, as you can see. Let's make sure that. Yep, 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 all done. I remember I started twisting my hair in the style, like literally taking this, twisting it like for real. Not like I'm doing it now, but literally taking this fingers right here and twisting it tight and going around again. And I got down to like 12 minutes, I think. Start off in half hour, then it got 18 minutes, like that. So I like getting faster. So I know if I keep this up, I will get faster. Okay. I don't think I have. Excuse me. I know I got it. Okay. Low level disinfect as a chemical agent which has demonstrated bacterial, germicidal, fungicidal, and limited virucidal activity, and is registered with EPA. And we learned what EPA is yesterday. Don't remember, and I'm not going to go over it this time. Wait till next time. High level disinfect is a chemical agent which has demonstrated tuberculocidal activity and is registered with the EPA. This I could have put that in. Sanitizing container. A receptacle holding a disinfectant agent which is large and deep enough to submerge the tools or implements or portions thereof, which are to be disinfected. I like the word thereof because that sounds biblically. Article. Items which complement services including but not limited to neck strips, towels or linen, and clothes or plastic cakes. And remember, I was telling you, once you're starting it, you don't have to go out and get the expensive, the ooh, I like that. No, you don't have to do that yet. You want to go to the dollar store and get some of those cakes from the dollar store. They have uh, some of them have snaps. I think one of my sisters got me had a hood, and they're only $1, and they're kind of thick, so you can give them to your client if you want. Definitions: tools and implements, portable articles and instruments which the practitioner can carry to use in the performance of services on clients. And I like that because that's the one that we're going to be. Well, I told you I'm going to go to schools, the beauty schools, to see if I can tutor this natural hair care part. And I believe I'm going to get a yes. Because, like I told you, once you start thinking of ideas as you're thinking of them, then just go for it. Just go for it. There's going to be some no's, but I told you how I was thinking about going to seeing the lock doctor in Portland, Oregon. She works on Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's where her shop is. She's a new business owner, and before I even got to go to her, I haven't even went anywhere yet. But before I even got to go to her, I found this paper. It was a business card on the ground. I was picking it up, maybe probably to throw it in the trash. I don't know why I really was picking it up. But I picked it up and I saw it was a business card, and it was for a business that's a barbershop, which is right down the street. But as I'm reading this right here, I'm noticing that maybe I want to, be a teacher at a school, a tutor at a school, or a teacher at a beauty college, because they also have a real college, um, a real course at Mount Hood Community College. So you see what I'm saying? Mount Hood Community College. So not only do I have a associate's degree for teaching, but I also have a certificate, a license to teach as a independent practitioner. Okay, here's another definition. Hazardous: an unplanned, uncontrolled reaction which could present a hazard to practitioners or clients by explosion, fire, release of toxic gases or byproducts, or physical or chemical burns. And I love this um, module because it making me want to do more and more tutoring, tutoring, and it's making me want to do more and more, being making me want to become more and more a distributor of products like tubes. There's no chemicals involved. A J hook. There's no chemicals involved because usually when I do a person's hair, I usually make sure that they have their J hook. And then if they decide to lose it, or it even comes in a little pouch for some of them. And I got the pouches from the dollar store too. It's like 8 to 10 in a pack, and they have little drawstrings, and it's really cute. They come in blue, green, yellow, and pink. So far, they might come in more colors, but so far those are the ones I saw, and they're about this big. So they look like the J hook's supposed to be in them. Okay, segregated in storage. Now, right now, what I'm thinking of is knives, spoons, forks, and the drawer where they go. That's what I'm thinking of. Now let's see what this says. Potentially hazardous chemicals and materials must be separated to prevent mixing with one another through leakage, spillage, or breakage by an adequate distance or through the use of physical barriers such as partitions or separate shelving arrangements. Yeah, because a knife has its own little, the forks, the spoons, and then there's the plastic silverware or plasticware. What's it called? Plasticware. Facility standards. All licensed facilities must comply with all applicable administrative rules and regulations of the board and other state agencies regarding health, safety, and infection control standards. And the board is our Oregon or State of Oregon Health Board or Health Board of Oregon or like that. But you know we're going to get it. That's how come we have to keep going over these lessons. A facility license holder must allow the agency's representative to inspect the facility or conduct an investigation. And we just learned about that yesterday because there's people that are going to complain. That there are people that are going to complain. You just don't want them to complain about you. So you want to have your license. You want to have your the oh hold on. Nope. That's from today. The Board of Cosmetologists. I definitely would have got that one wrong. Oh, EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. I didn't go back far enough. Didn't read that. Hold on. The next slide. Not really. Are you all learning anything? Okay, facility standards. We just learned that. The cleanliness and sanitary condition of any shared or common area in a licensed facility is the responsibility of each license or registration holder. All facility license and independent, we start over. All facility license and independent contractor registration holders will be cited for violation of the rules or regulations found in the shared or common area of a licensed facility. And I'm really liking this because the facility can be wrong. Someone could complain about the facility. And if you work there, that's saying that you're held accountable too. So you want everything to be on the up and up. You want to have all your ducks in order and road. You want to, I need a license. I need to be certified. I need to be able to have my number. I need to get, you want all your stuff in row. All your ducks in order. Or is all your ducks in a row? You know what I mean. Standards for facilities located in residence. Okay. Now, listen to this. A licensed facility located in a residence must comply with all facility standards, including having an identifying house number and sign with the facility name on file with the agency, which is easily visible from the street and indicates the location of the facility. So if you're an apartment complex, you got to make sure it says apartment 8 or whatever. Apartment number is 7. You got to comply with the rules and regulations. That's one of the nice things about taking this module, learning this module. Miss Janice going over this module with you. She's not rushing through it. She's taking her time because I'm learning too. So when I take the test, I want and I, do the video or whatever, and I just like the. I'm just gonna like tutoring after I take the test because then I'll be able to say, okay, I remember this part. Standards for facilities located in residence. I remember that part. That was on the test. Remember that. See, I'll be able to do that. It says the living area of the residence must be separated from the licensed facility by solid walls extending from floor to ceiling with any connecting doors kept closed while the facility is in operation. So I already know that in order for us to separate the entranceway from the kitchen area where I was telling you or where I showed you, is a place that I can teach because it has doors, etc. So it's a place that I can teach. But I already know that we're only allowed to have a one type of separation or barrier, and it has to be a fire retard material. That's the only way that you can separate with a curtain. It has to be fire retard. It has to cannot, you know, you cannot separate it with a curtain. It says right here, the living area of the residence must be separated from the licensed facility by solid walls extending from floor to ceiling with any connecting doors kept closed while the facility is in operation. So that I'll be able to have that. And the way that I know that because we have to have fire inspections every year where I live in the property because it's connected with the church. And the church has to have that type of service. And the way that we know, even though it's a house and it's connected to the church, even though it's a house that's connected to the church, even though it's a house that's has the address of its own, but it's a part of the church, it's a business. Where I live is considered a business because it's connected to the church, which is a business. And if our smoke alarm goes off by accident, it's connected to the fire department. The license comes out. The ambulance, the police, and the fire truck all come out every single time. And we'll be called, no, you don't need to come out. All that happened was a piece of toast burnt. But they said, no, man, we had to come out anyway because it's a business. And it's different with every single business. Okay, I mean, with every single house. House is different from the business, is what I really meant to say. I don't know why I said the words that I said. Water supply requirements and standards. Licensed facilities must have an adequate supply of both hot and cold running water and wash basins in the facility on the facility premises. Practitioners must like ding 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 ding. Anytime they say practitioners, see right now they're signaling us out. Practitioners must have immediate access to a supply of hot and cold running water. And one of the reasons is that you're supposed to remember we're supposed to wash our hands often, basically, before when we're in and before or after we come back. And I think it said leave. I see we're learning together. So you're probably screaming out in the background, no, it said, you know. I hope you're taking notes. I'm gonna start telling them at the beginning to take notes. Water supply requirements and standards. See, this is the law part. This is the part that everyone should know. So this is going to be on the test. It's not, and look how easy it is. You know that from living in a house. Period. Like to move in an apartment, it has to have a closet with windows to be called or considered a bedroom. You can't just use a little space that's big and the bed can fit in. Even though we do that, but by law, a bedroom must have a closet, windows, a closet, window, a windows closet. I meant to say the opposite. Water supply requirements and standards. Licensed facilities must have an adequate supply of both hot and cold running water. We read that, and wash basins in the facility premises. And practitioners must have immediate access to a supply of hot and cold running water. And washing accommodations must be maintained in a clean and sanitary condition. Now, if this is a multiple choice test, everyone should get at least a B. So I'm going to make sure I take this test. So I can come on and go, you all going to love it. Because, once you take the test and then you get so many wrong and you have to go back, take the test over, whatever. Once I take the test, I was going to take the test without even studying. I really was. But I gave myself and my sister until October. Water supply requirements and standards. All licensed facility must have hand soap or similar cleansing agents available. Individual towels of cloth or paper must be available. Air blowers for drying the hands may be substituted for towels. Use of bar soap or common towel is prohibited. That word prohibited makes you go like bing, ding, ding, bells. I start hearing bells and, you know, see, this is what I like to use. I have, and what we do is we usually spend, I think, like $50 a year. Probably doesn't really cost that much, but we try to get in $50 a year's worth of toilet paper and paper towels from Costco. My sister, she did not have a Costco card, but she will buy you one. Especially if you have a card. You want a Costco card? Come on, I'll take you to go get one. And like, oh no, I forgot to put my ears back on. Well, the nice part is, if y'all can't hear me, y'all would be nice and happy the next year. Let me see, is anybody here yet? Hello? Oh, it's on. So I think y'all can hear me. Isn't this cool though? I mean, I don't hear any noise. Normally I hear the fan. Zzz. I don't hear the fan. Oh, another thing that I like, what helps the hairs to grow, because you want your scalp to be moist, dry, or oiled, or you don't want it to be dry. I think that's the word I want to use. My hair loves water. Winter, spring, summer, fall. It loves water. Oh, and if you got on earlier today and saw that I did a couple of videos, I finished, I redid and then finished. I took out a band, the rubber band, the headband of a big, and then I extended the hat a little bit more, about that much more, and then I put the headband back in, and look at the video, see if you can find me. It says water supply requirements and standards. All licensed facilities must have, and then I said the use of bar soap or common towel is prohibited, which makes sense because that's German. I like this. There's a soap that when you push the whatever this is called to make the soap come out, it suds. And I went to the store and I thought I found it because the top looked like it did, but it's not. It's still the same old stuff. You have to make your own letters. Floor surface. Floor surface. Floor surfaces in the work area of a licensed facility must be of a cleanable, non-absorbent material and must be kept clean, orderly, and in good repair. That's a safety issue right there too. Walls, because if it needs repairing, it's not good for you to have customers come in and trip, fall, etc. Walls and ceilings. I'm liking the tutoring at a school, teaching at a school, more and more and more. Walls and ceilings in a licensed facility must be clean and free of excessive spots, mildew, condensation, or peeling paint. Pets in facilities. Pets pets or other animals must not be prohibited in a licensed facility at any time. So these prohibition does not apply to trained guide dogs for the disabled, sightless, or hearing impaired, or fish in aquariums. I can keep my fish. Let me see. I'm not gonna turn the camera. I got the lighting perfect. I like this lighting. Let me see if I hold on just a second. Don't go away, okay? Oh, I even be able to sit back now. Yeah. Alrighty then. Even though I like to, I'm gonna put a band on that hat effect here. I was thinking about that today. Okay, towels or linen. Clean towels or linens must be used for each client and must be stored in a clean area. All soiled towels or linens must be stored in a closable container after each use. I'm liking that. See, locks. I don't have to wash their hair. I don't have to wash their hair. All I do is upkeep. That's what I really like to do. Just the upkeep part, which is normally about this long, depending on how fast your hair grows within the 2 to 3 months. And I like 2 to 3 months because they already know it's going to take a while. They already know that it's going to take at least 2.5 hours. So far, that's the shortest I've done. The shortest I've done was 2.5 hours. And unlicensed, I charge $50 to do upkeep and $75 to start. That's unlicensed. But okay, towels and linen. Used towels must be laundered either by regular commercial laundering or by a non-commercial laundering process, which includes use of commercial laundry detergent manufactured for the purpose of cleaning clothes, linen, and other washable fabric, and immersion in hot water during the hot water wash or rinse operation. I have a laundromat that's down the street from me, which is good because we don't have a laundromat in our house. A laundromat. We don't have a washer and dryer in our house. And I do have a washing machine, one of the cute ones I've showed you. Well, probably not you, but in my videos before it was shown. And it's just cute. It's like it'll hold like 15 articles. But when it comes to doing hair care and being a licensed practitioner, you're going to the laundromat. Articles in contact with the client. To prevent direct contact between a common use hair cloth or cape and the client's skin, there must be a neck strap or tie placed around the client's neck. Articles in contact with a client. Articles in contact with a client. I love to use my hands so you can see. All items that come in direct contact with the client's skin that do not require disinfecting must be cleaned. If the item cannot be cleaned or disinfected, it must be disposed of in a covered waste receptacle immediately after use. Remember, dollar store. There's cake from the dollar store. You set up which is time management. You're going to have 15 clients within the month, or you're going to start out with 15. I usually limit my doing of the hair anyhow. I really would suggest that. You don't want to get overwhelmed. You don't want to get too busy. You want to be just dynamic. And that doesn't fit in the category of overwhelmed or too busy. You don't want your clients waiting on you. You don't want none of that stuff. As a matter of fact, if you know it takes 2 to 3 hours to do a person's hair, an hour in between, or just do like 2 clients a day, to start off. You want to be so good. You want to continually practice, yes, but you also want to be so good. Hair pieces. During the trying on of a manufactured hairpiece, that portion of the head which comes in contact with the hairpiece must be completely covered with a disposable cover. Dollar store. They have, I believe, 100 of those plastic caps. I think I still got something like 2 years ago. You get so many plastic caps in this. Not no, it was at Mid K. I think I got them from Mid K, and I haven't been to Mid K in like that. So what you want to do is you want to know the different places where you can go to get stuff. If you know that, like today, it was my cat, my personal cat, but I still wore this, right? My personal cat, but I still wore my head covered. When I have people to buy my cats, they don't get to try them on. I make it. They don't. They do not get to try on my hats. Not yet. But once I become licensed, because you and then you, if anyway, they don't get to try on. Oh, I like this one. Yeah, and that's why I wear what I sell. I personally wear my product all the time. And a lot of times, what the people will say is, let's see, it's more like, can you make me one but a green and yellow? Or can you make one like that for me? And because I'm in the zone of making bigs, I can make a big. I can make it. But a year or so from now, and I'm on a different pattern, different skill set, I won't be able to make a big. People ask me to make stuff. Do you still make the hats? And I was like, yes. Remember that one time? I, I remember that part, but I don't remember how I made it. You should have seen me. It took me about a year and a half to figure out how to make a tam. My mother loves tams. That's basically the only type of hat she'll wear that's of the what is that, the stitched material, tams. It took me about a year to figure it out. I was like, I know I made them. I sold it. It's hooked to the side. She wears it. People compliment her. Then she has like a blue. She has so many. When I was making them, when I was in the tam mode, my nephew he liked those Kango hats where you have a snap here. It's like, and then you snap, and the men wear it, and it's real. I made them. I made them different colors and everything, blue and tan with brown and green with a little bit of. I made them. To make them today, I'm just saying, catch me while you can. Okay, all used hair goods must be cleaned according to manufacturer's instructions before resale and marked as used. I think I'm gonna take my test next month. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna keep reading this over and over. Refuse is called. It's spelled Refuse. It looks like refuse, but it's refuse and waste material. All waste related to the performance of services must be deposited in a covered container to avoid the potential for cross contamination through release of or exposure to infectious waste materials. Okay, now what could that be? Let's think. Let's read that again. I didn't get no picture or anything, so I'm gonna read it again. All waste related to the performance of services must be, gloves. That would be a good one. The use of gloves. And it must be deposited in a covered container. Because I did notice that when you go to a hairdresser, beauty parlor, they don't even touch the container with their hand. The foot, the lid lifts up, they they take the gloves off. Have you noticed that? And they put it in that container. It is covered. They don't even have the ones where you put your hands, the trash cans that are covered, and you put your hands in. They got the little door that does the. Okay, okay, I'm going you on again. Refuse and waste material. Waste unrelated to performance of services must be deposited in a waste disposal container. Containers located in the reception area which do not contain waste related to performance of services are exempt from having coverage. Look, they already got you hooked up with a secretary and everything, a front desk person for the reception area. I wonder, does it have to be a certain size? I noticed that it has to have windows. I noticed that it has to have a door. If it's in a personal property, it has to be separate from the living area, and the door must be closed. That separating door must be closed. I'm just trying to think, refuse and waste material. Outer surfaces of waste disposal containers must be kept clean. Sealable plastic bags and sealable rigid containers, and that's spelled RIGID, must be available for use at all times services are being performed in a licensed facility. And I like the way that they're distinguishing like licensed facility. And they're making it so plain and so clear. Like if you ever got to a point where you had to be investigated for some reason, it's like what we're doing right now. You should constantly and continually go over, and remember your part. Like if you're a licensed person, or excuse me, you're operating in a licensed facility, you go around and make sure that these things are right. You don't see it. Ma'am, do you want me to buy some closed containers, sir? You know, um, I got some closed containers that I just purchased. May I get reimbursed? Because you like remember it said that if the facility itself get investigated, you also just by being an employee will get investigated. Okay, that's for a licensed facility. Oh, and I was saying how I like the way that when if they signal you out, practitioners must do this, licensed facilities must do that. Um, I call them entrepreneurs, but that's not what they're called as a practitioner. Independent contractor. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to talk practitioner now. Disinfecting non-electric tools and implements. All tools and implements used within a field of practice must be disinfected before use on each client. And remember, I use the plastic bag. I use the J hook, and I usually give that back to the person. I don't use the comb and stuff because normally the person whose hair I do is already locked, so it wouldn't really be a use for a comb. And then too, I usually ask the person to bring their own if they have a comb or a brush. They have to bring their own. Disinfecting non-electric tools and implements. All tools and implements used within a field of practice must be disinfected before each use on a client. Oh, I'm gonna say, is that the same thing? Uh-oh, almost done. What time? Still got a whole lot of time. Disinfecting non-electric tools and implements. The method for disinfecting non-electrical tools and implements will be as follows. Remove all hair and or foreign material. Clean thoroughly with soap or detergent and water. Rinse thoroughly with clear, clean water and sterilize using one of the approved methods. And of course, that must be next because we haven't talked about approved methods for sterilizing, cleaning, etc. Requirements and standards. All tools and implements that come in direct contact with the client must be disinfected or disposed of after use. And the reason it must have I must have already have known that some way somehow because I began to give the locking tool that I use on a person's head to them, and I'm teaching them how to use it as I go. You go this way, you go this way, you're like that. All tools and implements with sharp edges or points must be totally immersed in a high level disinfectant according to the manufacturer's instruction. Also, there's so many people that are allergic to so much stuff. That's the other reason, or that should be a reason to ask your clients, suggest highly to your clients to bring their own brush and comb, what they already use. You don't want to use your stuff on another person's head. Even if you're on the go, even if you're licensed, got your stuff in your own pocket, your information, who you are, etc., in your own pocket. Because remember when I said I do hats, normally it's just the person's hat. They don't put the plastic bag on their head, try the hat on, all that kind of stuff. It's like it's their hat, they're wearing it. And I think the latest thing that happened was the hat was too big for them, and I used uh, a technique. It wasn't. It's not the one that I use now, where you put the band in it. I just used a technique to make the hat smaller. Requirements and standards, but it was already their hat. So you want to get a little better, and I do. I'm saying you, meaning myself. We want to get a little better at how we let people try on stuff. So far, that's the only thing about. Requirement and standards. All tools and implements that come in direct contact. Oh, here it is. Let's read it again. All tools and implements that come in direct contact with the client must be disinfected or disposed of after use. All tools and implements with sharp edges or points must be totally immersed in a high level disinfectant according to the manufacturer's uh, instructions. Oh, yeah. And that's when I started talking about how some people are allergic to certain chemicals or certain stuff that we use. Requirements and standards. All tools and implements without sharp edges or points must be totally immersed in a solution containing 1,000 parts per million, that's ppm, parts per million, of a commercial quaternary ammonia compound or other low-level disinfectant used according to the manufacturer's instruction. And I'm liking this, and it's basically the same thing that says. And one of the reasons I like it is because we usually go by what people say. Like bleach, you get that out. You know what I mean? Um, have you ever tried this, and we don't read it. We just go by what someone said. What this is saying is according to the manufacturers. I'm sorry, but that's how I got it. But this is according to the manufacturer's instructions. The person that said, "Did you use this?" Like just recently, to clean out the shower. You know, we have to clean the shower every time we use it because there's like one shower. So in the house now there's two showers in the house. One is downstairs, depending on what floor you're on. I put it up there. And so someone told my sister about this disinfects that gets stains off the bathroom wall or under the bathtub and stuff like that. And I use it and I let it sit and I scrub. I didn't do no reading. Maybe you wasn't supposed to. You see what I'm saying? I didn't do. I just did what she said that the person told her to do. No, I just did what she said. The person said they do. So I'm glad that I'm reading this because next time I'll know. You read. I didn't dilute or anything. What if it said delete? It's too late now. I used it all up. I'm sorry. Anyway, I like the word manufacturer's instructions, not your friend's instructions. Okay, requirements and standards. All disinfecting agents must be kept at adequate strengths to maintain effectiveness. See what I'm saying? Be free of foreign material and be available for immediate use at all times. The licensed facility is open for business. As a matter of fact, I used it all and I don't think she knew that it was gone. It's not good. Anyway, according to what I just read. Requirements and standards. Single-use disposable gloves must be discarded after use with each client. Requirements and standards. All manual devices or equipment used in the practice of natural hair care must be used in accordance with the product safety and registration requirements imposed by federal, state, county, or local authority. And right now I'm thinking about tools and the rat tooth comb. I would have never known that that was used for parting. Let me see, it said parting, sectioning. Uh, I told you I'm trying to talk. Excuse me, practitioner. And so, and I'm saying that because it says hair care must be used in a court. It says all manual devices or equipment used in the practice of natural hair care must be used in accordance with the product safety and registration requirement imposed, by any federal, state, county, or local authority. And to me, just to make it simple, if you're going to change a light bulb, don't stand in a chair. They have a ladder for that. So if you're going to do somebody's hair, keep somebody's locks up, use the right stuff. And that's how come I want to use the J hook. I want to use the J hook because it's simple, sweet, short, to the point. Because normally, if I use the J hook, I would normally, or I am normally supposed to immerse it in a disinfectant before I use it on the next person. And the J hooks are a commodity, a commodity. Requirements and standard. Natural hair care practitioners, this is us, may not use any manual device or equipment unless the use is a part of the delivery of service within the practitioner's scope of practice. Yes! Oh, sorry. And is consistent with the manufacturer's intended use of the device. I am the manufacturer. Yes! And with client health and safety. Yes! No, no. Kind of make you afraid to use a comb or a brush. Oh, wrong. Now I'm thinking I'm looking at the phone. I'm looking over here at the camera, and there's a light right in front of me. Storage and tools implements. Storage of tools and implements. New and or disinfected and clean tools and implements must be stored separately from all others. Storage drawers for clean tools and implements must be clean, free of hair, and used only for clean tools and implements. Storage of tools and implements. Storage cabinets, workstation, and vanities must be kept clean. And I like that. I'm telling you how come I like this, because this is like, you can't even say I didn't know that, because you're supposed to go over the book, and you get a certificate. You're supposed to go over the module, excuse me, and you get a certificate saying, I completed the module, meaning I read this, I looked over it, I learned some words, I looked in the dictionary, I participated in practicing using the tools and the implements. I made sure that the place was clean, not in a negative, but when they didn't have this, I made sure that they had it. Okay. So it says equipment. The surface of all equipment where services are performed, including but not limited to back bars, must be of cleanable, non-absorbent material. All equipment must be clean and in good repair. And I noticed there's a place, I forgot the name of it. Yep, I got the name of it. And they have chairs, the kind of beauticians, barbers use, where you put your, I'm doing this with my foot like you can see. And it makes the chair go higher. And they're $9. And they're good chairs. They're marked down. Oh, I almost had it again. Anyway, look, you guys, almost done. I got six more of these. Equipment. A high-level disinfectant or bleach solution used according to the manufacturer's instructions must be used to disinfect surfaces contaminated by blood or body fluids. Right now, I'm thinking of how I was telling you to make sure that you talk everyone through how your procedure goes. You have to have a procedure first, but you want to talk everybody through how your procedure goes. I usually do a consultation with all of my clients, and I can do it over the phone. Do you have any sores in your head? Blah blah blah. Because, like I said, before you get to here with somebody's head, you have already discussed your technique, what you do. I make sure that I give everybody a head massage, whatever. You tell what you do, and then you talk them through it. I do the head massage because there was a time when I had a client, you know, and so it puts you above the game. Who doesn't like to get their head massage? I mean, I don't know anybody that don't. Maybe a kid that's tender-headed. Oh, mom, I don't want my head massage. So you be like, I do this to all the adult clients. Anyway, I don't massage their head. I just allow them to relax. A high-level disinfectant or bleach solution used according to the manufacturer's instructions must be used to disinfect surfaces contaminated by blood or bodily fluids. All equipment must be clean and in good repair. I'm laughing because I just saw a picture of a broken tip of a scissor with an orange handle. And when you really want to get into this, I'm serious. You practice on yourself. You practice on yourself, or you just begin to practice every single time. Cleaning out your brushes, cleaning out your combs. Because sometimes we don't do that. Oh, it was my hair, my dirt, but get it. I'm sorry. But get in the practice of treating yourself like a client. Practice on yourself. I'm telling you, practice, practice, practice makes better. Okay, serving clients. Practitioners, this is you and me, must wash their hands before and after serving each client to prevent cross contamination. Before and after. When washing hands, practitioner must use soap and water or other alternative hand washing products such as gel, aerosol spray, foam, or pre-packaged hand wipes. See, there's that foam. That's what I want. I want to use it for my own self. I'm still looking for it. I'm gonna find these. I'm gonna find these lots of. Okay, here's another serving clients. Listen to what it says first. Practitioners performing services on clients with skin conditions that are wet or weeping must wear single-use protective gloves. And my rule of thumb to you is don't do it. And it says head lice may be treated at the discretion of the practitioner and or facility owner. I'm telling you, don't do it. And the reason I'm explaining is it could be 5 months later. 5 months later, different place, and someone could come up with head lice, and they know that you just worked at here, and their facility had a case, an outbreak of head lice. See, if you don't do it, your name won't even come up. You'll be like, you see what I'm saying? Don't do it. Because eventually one day you can be like, I remember I worked at a facility that had head lice, and right then it's like, oh, so you bought this head lice because we've been having this facility school for 10 years and we never had an outbreak of head lice. I'm telling you, it's like months and months later, people, they just put stuff together. They just start adding 2 and 2, 4. She was working at 2. This one, don't do that. Don't even put yourself in the area. Look at this one. I'm gonna show you what this one says. Congratulations. You have now completed the natural hair care training module. The following requirements will need to be completed prior to obtaining a natural hair care certificate. The examination requirements: you print a complete print, excuse me, print and complete the attached certificate of completion. Obtain the natural hair care certification application from the agency's website. Provide all requirements listed on the application checklist in order to sit for the natural hair care written exam. So I can tell you this. So these are things that you get after you complete a module. Like for real. The examination is administered at the Oregon Health License Agency. And agency hours for testing are Monday 9 to 1:30 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday 8 to 1:30 p.m. I already showed you that. So that completes my first run through. That took 7 hours basically and 15 minutes. We're gonna say 8. But I want to get shorter. I want to get funnier. I want to remember. So I'm gonna start over. Not tonight. But what I decided to do is really see how many pages it really is. It's 147. Then I'm going to divide it by 7. So that's like 20 something pages at a time, 7 days a week. Yep. That's 21 pages at a time if I do 7 days a week. So if I do 3 days a week, I don't mean 3 days a week. Uh, yeah, 3 days a week. Because I want to go by pages. I don't want to go by hours. Like, I don't want to go, if I did it for 2 hours, like, I don't do that. I want to do pages because that way I can add more things to talk about, add more examples. Maybe, when I get to certain sections, I'll have a real client, bring a real client in, or get a wig head with a wig, show you how I do my lash hooking, show you how I do my J hooks, my knotting hairstyle, and as you're seeing here, even on these locks, the ends are knotted, and I'm noticing that the knots are getting fatter. They were skinny little things, but they're actually getting fatter. I'm like, make me want to do my whole head again, but I'm not. See, they're just getting fatter. This one still looks skinny to me. Oh, here's the fat one. And they're right at the tip. And I'm noticing that they're curving. They're lying down more, curving down. They were like those that I just picked up. They're probably laid down in a minute. You see how it's like curving? If I picked it up, it's not doing it. There it is. See? I'm not picking it by the tip. I'm picking it by the hair. See? Right at the end, just a little curve down. And I thought again, I usually fold it in half, put it on my head, fold it in half, put it on my head, and then fold it in half again. But I've been thinking maybe if I did two, like, so far, no. But what I'm saying is, because the rubber bands are so little and they're so fat, I just take the rubber band and go 1, 2. That's what I mean. Or 3. Let me see if I can. 1, 2, 3. And just let it stay. Because I don't know if it's the rubber band, because I don't know. But if it comes out, if these come out, I notice that I've been leaving them alone. And some of them are like like really just at the tip, but it looks like it's not because they're they're scrunched. Is there such a word called scrunched? Anyway, I get to say goodbye, you guys, because I don't have anything else to show you at all. I have a hat over there. I think it's pink, and this is going to be the trim of it. And I found this today. This is how long the stretch is. I just need something to hold the hat together. And this one will probably pop easy. Right at the top there. The one I used today had a gold or a silver lock that locked it together, so that'll probably come loose too. And that's one of the things I like about return visitors. If you have if you have a return visitor, you can say 30 days and give it your hat's 30-day wear, your 30-day normal wear and tear, and you can get a free band if the band pops at 30 days. Because when you're making it, when you're putting the band in the hat itself, you have to stretch it. I did one and it stretched real long, and it ended up being, I think I showed you I was green and black, and it ended up being all the way down here. And they're called big, so it's never too big. The hats are never too big. It's just that you have to have the hair for that hat. And the hair, if you have a lot of hair that hangs in, you put the hair in there, and it holds the hat on, so like a hood. And I actually saw something like what I made. And I'm like, I was totally amazed. Anyway, lobsters, I'm gonna go. But I thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you. I get to wash my hair too. Like, this is coming along pretty cool, you know. I like this right here. I don't know if I told y'all one of the reasons why I like this. Because when my locks are long, I want to push them back, like just right in the middle, and have it look like this. Like this. I don't know if this part is still there, but I want the locks to be, and the hairs to come down like this. And you can see how it's coming in with a little teeny knot. I remember one time when I first started doing that, I did like this. Anyway, that's one of the reasons why I have it like that, because I really like this when your hair goes back like this instead of to the left or to the right or the other way around, to the right or to the left. And then I want to do the Bantu knot. I mean, this is called the pineapple. I want to do the pineapple and the Bantu knot with these hair, and all of the rest of it going back. But it has to do some growing. But y'all know already, I'm telling y'all what I want, so that when it gets to the length that it can do it, I'll be like, hey, you got to see this. Hold on. Then take my take my lock sock off, or take my big off, and I'll just show it off. Just show out. Just like I'll show out. Okay. And then one more thing. I have a hook that's a little bit smaller than this, just a little bit, right? Let's see. Hold on. There you go. It's a little hook, and I think it's a G, and the hook's going alphabetical order. And then I have thread that's not too thin, not too thick, that I want to start making hats, bigs out of. They're gonna be expensive because it's made out of the. It's kind of like you make bracelets out of these friendship bracelets, but you can get so many and so many colors. So those are going to be hats of many colors. You know, like Joseph had a coat of many colors. I haven't figured out. I'll just probably make a band like this with a brim that goes up like this, and you can do this, and the top is going to be open because a lot of people in Portland, Oregon, wear hoodies. So it's going to be a ribbed style hood hat. I made them before. I'm going to show you one of the ones I have left. And I call them hood hats. Instead of hood rats, I call them hood hats. And they all look the same. That one I can remember because of how they're made. The band goes from here to here, goes so from your ear to here, and probably a little bit too big, like maybe from here to here, and then it goes like this, and it has a brim. And what I usually do is I have to find a needle that's smaller than this to make the brim. And to be honest, I don't know how it rolls up. I really don't. I just know that it does. If I make if I make the the ear coverings with this hook, I just have to find one that's one or two sizes smaller, and in some way, somehow, it just comes out looking cute. All right. See you later, Lobsters. I'll be back tomorrow. Or see you later, Lobsters. I'll see you next time.